Hey everybody, welcome to Shooting the Shit with Yankee. As usual, I am Yankee, so let's start shooting it. Tonight's topic is going to be when you choose to carry a gun, when you take on that extra responsibility of actually carrying a firearm with you on your person during the day. Do you take on an obligation to protect others who are not carrying a gun? I think we all know that carrying a gun does come with certain responsibilities. You got to be more careful about certain things. You got to make sure you're not looking for trouble. You got to make sure sometimes that you avoid trouble. You got to make sure when you can that you don't start trouble, things like that. So carrying does come with the added responsibility. You got to take extra precaution to make sure that gun doesn't harm somebody accidentally or negligently. It's hard for me to say negligent discharge, so I try to stay away from the word negligent. But does that mean that if you're someone carrying and something bad is happening, do you have an obligation to protect others? If you are in the mall and someone starts shooting and you run out the door, you grab your kids and you run out the door, well, does that mean you should be held responsible for the fact that you could have fought back and you didn't? So you're partially responsible for things that happened to people that were not able to defend themselves. And to that, I say, that's the biggest load of crap I've ever heard anybody say. And yes, I've heard people say this all the time. There's a lot of people you remember that love to say that I'm a sheepdog. You know, my gun makes me a sheepdog. No, your gun does not make you a sheepdog. Your gun just makes you more likely to be able to defend yourself. Does not make you a sheepdog, does not give you responsibility or power over other people. And one of the problems I have with a lot of people who say, I'm a sheepdog, it's my responsibility to help other people, is they also start thinking it's their responsibility to make sure everybody does the right thing too. The power goes a little to their head. Your gun, the fact that you're carrying a gun, really shouldn't affect how you behave. And it definitely shouldn't make you feel like you've got some say in how other people live their lives. And it also doesn't give you an obligation to protect those people who decided to not be able to protect themselves. Now, I'm not saying that you can't protect people or that you shouldn't protect other people. Well, of course, that's the good thing to do. But when you say responsibility, that means it's something you have to do whether you want to or not. And that you are somehow liable if you don't do it, that you did something wrong. No, your first obligation is to yourself and your family. If someone comes in and starts shooting up a mall, especially if they've got superior firepower to you, get you and your kids out of there. And not just don't send your kids out the door and be like, I'm going back with my J-frame and take out these guys with AKs. You know, then you're robbing your kids of a parent probably. And there's nothing wrong with that. It is not your obligation or your responsibility to protect other people. Because here's the thing. I would always protect children. And sometimes probably to a lesser degree, elderly people. But every single grown adult in that mall, if something like that happened, had every opportunity to be able to defend themselves just like I did. They could have done the same things I did. They could have bought a gun. They could have taken a training course. They could have, not that I think anybody needs to, they could have gotten a license if your state requires you to have one to carry. If I can get one, anybody can. So if they can do those things too, and then they fail to do so, that doesn't put extra responsibility on me because I did so. I did so to protect myself and protect my family, not to protect you or your family. That's on you. And if you shirk those responsibility, that doesn't fall on me. And like I said, too many people that do that, oh, I'm a sheepdog thing. They start to think like I'm the next best thing to law enforcement. Those are the same kind of people that think I can do a citizen's arrest, you know, those kind of people. And that's not a mindset I support at all. Now, I totally okay with people who say, if I was in that situation, I'd do everything I could to protect others, especially if you don't have children or something that you're responsible for. And the only person whose life you're really risking screwing up is your own. Well, then that's admirable. Do so. But you're in no way obligated to. There's no responsibility to. And you don't have any preordained authority to do so. You know, meaning that you have a right to step in. Like if two people are fighting, you got a right to step in and break it up. No, it's not your business. Stay out of it. You're not a sheepdog. You're just someone who decided to be prepared. That's all. And it doesn't come with any responsibility other than personal responsibility to be your best self while you're carrying, and don't put other people in danger unnecessarily. And then if you decide you want to help people, great. But like I said, it is not your obligation just because you chose to be prepared and they didn't. And with that being said, let me go over here and see if there's anybody chiming in. Dale Riggedy says, I only have responsibility to protect my own family, but every situation is different. Exceptions always. Well, yeah, like I say, there's always exceptions. Like if I was at the mall and there's like someone sitting there with their kid in a stroller, and some crazy person runs in, with a machete, and he's running over towards the kid like he's going to chop the kid up, or they got kids running around in one of them little, kid prisons that you see in the middle of the mall, the little play areas with the walls around it, the little child prisons. There's kids in there, and he's running towards them with a machete. Well, then, yeah, blow his fucking brains out. I'll run over there and blow his brains out. But I'm not going to get in a fight with someone with a machete, so blowing his brains out, the best option I got. But I'm not obligated to do that at all. And anyone that would try to say I am is ridiculous. And I think a lot of people, that whole sheepdog mentality and that kind of thing where it's a duty. Well, those are wannabes. I want to be a cop so bad, or I want to be a, something. The hero. I want to be a hero. They got hero wannabe syndrome. And I don't agree with that. Casey Two Guns said, no responsibility to help others. They have the same options to protect themselves as I do. I would help if the situation made sense to me. I think it made sense. But yeah, I agree. There are a lot of times where I probably would help. But that does not mean I have an obligation to. And I guarantee you there are probably more times, especially if it's like a coordinated attack. Someone comes in, say two guys run in with ARs and they're going to make a point for, Allah or whatever, or Nintendo or whatever it is they're doing it for. That's a situation where I would be seriously outgunned, because I didn't come there to get involved in a war. They did. So putting myself in that situation would be kind of stupid tactically. And in that case, I'm getting the fuck out of there. I'm saving my life and the lives of my family, because it would be almost certain death to go against two people armed with, semi-automatic rifles while you just have a handgun, especially if you're at any kind of distance. And as soon as you fire that first shot, you better hope you hit them, because you've given away the position where you're at. So I wouldn't want to be in that position. So there would always be places where you would definitely help if you could, but you're in no way obligated to. And your first responsibility is to yourself and your family. Mr. Furley says, playing Captain Save-A-Ho is a fool's errand. Why would you not save a hoe? He's here, and I think he bought a shirt or something a minute ago, a couple shirts. I saw an order come through on Printify, and it was from a hoe. But yeah, I probably wouldn't save him either. I think he's already dead. We already talked about that in last night's chat. I think his wife is just wearing his skin around, pretending to be him. But because he doesn't say anything in the chats anymore. He just buys something or donates and then stays silent. And that's not like him to stay silent. But let's see here. Let me see if there's any more comments coming in. I don't see anything, so we'll go ahead and close this up. Remember, everybody, if you want to be part of the conversation, come into the live chats. We have live chats every night at 6 p.m., except for Wednesdays, like tonight, when it's at 7 p.m. Tomorrow it'll be at 6 p.m. So if you want to come in, be part of the conversation, just come on in the live chat. Tomorrow's topic, I don't know what it'll be yet, but when I get it, I'll put it up the live chat tomorrow, and right there on the title card, it'll have what tonight's topic is. So if you want to get prepared and come in and take me to task on something, feel free to do so. Come in and express your opinion. Let me know if you agree with me, disagree with me. Call me out if you disagree with me. Challenge me. I welcome it. So with that being said, I want to say thanks to everybody who showed up tonight and everyone who participated. I appreciate it. I will see you all again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.